Welcome to our next online class. So, in our previous class, we discussed about heterotrophic mode of nutrition. In that, we read about the parasitic nutrition and insectivorous nutrition. Today, we will discuss about saprotrophic nutrition or saprotrophic mode of nutrition. What type of nutrition? This one. Certain living organisms, they take their food from dead and decaying matter. From where? From the dead and decaying matter. So some living organisms take their food from the dead and decaying matter. These are called as the saprotrophs, and their mode of nutrition is called as saprotrophic mode of nutrition or saprotrophic nutrition. What is saprotrophic nutrition? The organism which take the mode of nutrition in which the living organism depend on dead and decaying matter. That type of nutrition is called as saprotrophic nutrition. What is saprotroph? Saprotrophs are the living organism which take their food from the dead and decaying matter. So this is the difference: saprotrophic mode of nutrition and saprotrophs. Saprotrophs are the living organism. Saprotrophic nutrition is a type of nutrition. Okay, I understand. Do not disturb that. This you are confusing that what is saprotrophic nutrition and what is saprotroph. Saprotroph is the living organism of which depend upon the dead and decaying matter, whereas saprotrophic nutrition in which this is a mode of nutrition in which living organism depend on the dead and decaying matter. Okay, so example of this. These are mostly saprotrophs are mostly the fungi are the saprotrophs. Best example I am giving you that. Suppose you take some food, prepared food, or maybe bread, or maybe coconut, a part of coconut. When you broken the coconut, after that one part of that coconut, when you openly you place it in one dark corner. After 2 days, you see the fungus. In Odia, you are telling that pimpy. Okay, so these fungus are just brown or grey. Most of the time they are grey in color, and they spoil the food. Why? Because these are how they get the nutrients. So these organisms take secrete some digestive juice which rotten or decompose the food particles present in a ready-made food, and that decompose. From that they are taking the nutrients. So in this way they are preparing. They are taking the food from the prepared food. Otherwise, what are the fruits, vegetables which are rotting? At the time some fungus are there. That's why they are just attack on it, and they help in rotting. And from that the nutrients they are collecting. And one fungus we are taking it as food. Who can tell me? One fungus we are taking as food. That is the most of the students like it. That is the mushroom. Mushroom is a fungus. That is the edible fungus. We eat this fungus. Another fungus which is used to prepare food, that is different breads, bakery items, that is the yeast. And some fungus are also used for medicine, preparing medicine. Let's say for example, penicillin. Penicillin is one function. Penicillium. So from penicillium is a fungus from which we are preparing the medicine penicillin. So these are the fungus these two fungus are we are eating it, and this one is used as medicine. But some fungus are also have the these also mushroom have the also saprotrophic mode of nutrition, because all of you know that when there are dry straw or wet straw, on the wet straw, when we add the spores of mushroom, then they germinate. So the straws are the dead matter, and that are decayed by the water, so then they are developed. And most of you observe that at the rainy season, shoes, belt, wallet, what are the leather material? They are also have fungus because these are the animal parts. So that's why they are affected by the fungus. Sometimes you keep your wet dresses at a corner. After 2 days you see that some black spots are there. This is not other than the fungus. So these are the fungus, those who have the saprotrophic mode of nutrition. So fungus have the example of the saprotrophic mode of nutrition. Also, what is the example of saprotrophs? That is the fungus or the mushroom, yeast or molds. Molds are of different types of molds are there. Bread mold is frequently, you know that is on the breads. So these are the mold, mushroom, then fungus. All these are the yeast. These are these have the saprotrophic mode of nutrition. Come to another heterotrophic mode of nutrition, that is the symbiotic nutrition. So in symbiotic nutrition, what happened? Here they are exchanging the things. तुम हमें कुछ दो, हम तुम्हें कुछ देंगे. That is the symbiotic relationship. So in symbiotic relationship, symbiotic also in symbiotic it composed of two words. Sym means together, and biotic means two living organism. So when together two living organisms live together or living organisms to live together, that is called as symbiotic nutrition or symbiotic, and that relation is called as symbiotic relationship. So first is in this case its best example is the lichen. What is lichen then? I am erasing all this. In lichen, two organisms live together. That is the algae. Another one is the fungi. Sometimes you see that there are two types of lichen are there: crustacean lichen and fructicose lichen. On the stem of the big trunks of the plants, some plants, there are greyish patches are there, flower-like patches are there. This is not other than the lichen. So here the fungus mycelium gives place to the lichen. Fungus mycelium gives place to the algae, and these also collect all the food materials for the algae. Then from the food material, algae prepare the food, and again this food is it is given to the fungi. Some food is consumed by the algae and some given to the fungi. So there is a mutual, this one collecting the food material, this one preparing the food, and some food is also given to the fungi. So there is a mutual, this one is mutual benefit. Both the organisms get benefited. In parasitic mode of nutrition, only the parasite is benefited. Whereas in this symbiotic relationship, both are benefited. Both the living organisms are benefited because there is an exchange of their food and shelter. They are mutual for their food and shelter. That's why this type of relationship is called as symbiotic relationship. This type of relationship is called as symbiotic relationship. Here the two living organisms exchange their food and shelter with themselves. So another one is the Rhizobium bacterium. Another living organism which perform the symbiotic relationship, that is the Rhizobium bacterium. What is its work? This bacteria attaches itself on the roots of the leguminous plant. Roots of the leguminous plant, these bacteria attaches itself. And plant, we know that in our atmosphere there is maximum amount of nitrogen. So plant have a tendency, they do not absorb the atmospheric nitrogen, or free nitrogen is not absorbed by the plant body. They are absorbing the nitrogen which is in compound form. So these bacterium have a capacity to absorb the atmospheric nitrogen and convert it into its compound form, which is taken by the plant body and to prepare the proteinaceous food. So that's why this rhizobium helps in absorbing the atmospheric nitrogen to convert it compound form. And what are the prepared food prepared by the leguminous plant, that is also taken by the rhizobium bacteria. So here they have leguminous plant and rhizobium bacteria have a symbiotic relationship with them. So here rhizobium bacteria absorb the atmospheric nitrogen and attaches it in the compound form at the roots of the leguminous plant, and the leguminous plant prepare the food which is also taken by the rhizobium bacterium. I am showing you one root nodule, how the root nodules are found by the rhizobium bacterium. See this one, these are the root nodules. See this one, these are the nodules which are found by the rhizobium bacteria on the roots of the leguminous plants. So this is all about different types of heterotrophic mode of nutrition. First is parasitic nutrition, second one is your insectivorous nutrition, then saprotrophic nutrition, then last one is symbiotic nutrition. And the relation between the living organism is called as the symbiotic relationship. So last part of your book, that is the how the nutrients are replenished in the soil. First, if we want to maintain the nutrients in the soil, we have to add manure or fertilizer. This is the basic thing. But rather than that, in some and also we know that rhizobium bacteria have the capacity to absorb atmospheric nitrogen. So the nitrogen nutrients should be maintained in the soil by planting or by cultivating leguminous plants. So that's why our farmers they are cultivating the rice crops, then they are cultivating the pulses or grams, so that the nitrogenous nutrient is maintained in the soil. So in this way the nutrition is maintained in the soil. So this completes your first chapter. If you have any doubt, then ask me in my personal number, and if you have no doubt, then do the exercise. In one class I also discussed what are the questions of the exercise. Okay, thank you.